it's free time. So go and do your own practice. And then usually we will go to sleep around 11 p.m. or midnight. And then we wake up again at 4:30. That's
Okay,
the average day.
nice. Thank you. And next question is
Mm-hmm.
asking that young lady. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the question is, mm, Master,
Mm-hmm.
actually girls asking me, but I'm asking to you.
Mm.
Uh, Girls are asking to me how to control emotions because girls' emotions is always swings. So girls are asking me, so please you may experience it according to your knowledge. Yeah.
The problem about emotions is that
Uh, I'm connect to you.
people. Mm-mm. Okay, okay.
Why this girl asking?
Mm-hmm.
According to my knowledge,
Mm-mm.
because girls are facing the period problems, right?
Mm-mm.
So mood are changes, hormone changes. That's why our mood also changes. So
Mm-mm.
how to control emotions that time?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
So
this is the
I understand that. So
yes,
basically, the reason that people have outbursts of emotions is specifically because they do not realize that they are having that emotion. Okay, that is the main problem. Whether it is hormonal imbalance, so when when women have their what's it called again, mood swings, right? So when women go through menstruation, right, they have mood swings, right, and then they lash out to people, right, and then because of the way that the hormones in the woman body works, women have way more hormones than men that they have to deal with. I used to be a biology main, so before I became a monk, I studied very hard in biology. So I understand that there's a lot of variables that goes into supporting the emotion change in a woman, but it doesn't matter what those things are because no matter what it is, there's only one main reason, and that main reason is the fact that you do not realize that you are currently having said emotions until you have spoken, until you have said it out, right? And that's the main problem. If you realize that right now I am feeling angry and I'm angry because of this, right? Then you can stop yourself, right? Because I'm being angry. So if
right.
I'm angry right now, then maybe I shouldn't talk, or maybe I can avoid a confrontation, right? But the problem is sometimes you don't know that you are angry and you don't know the reason that you are angry. So you end up having an outburst, shooting your emotions at people, and then realize that, oh, I'm angry about this. I shouldn't have said that, right? That's the main problem. So the best way to deal with this is to start having more awareness of your own emotions before you start speaking, before you engage with someone, right? You have to think how you feel about it first. You have to learn to slow down. Usually when it comes to any kind of emotions, it's reactionary. Most of the times when we shoot emotions out, it's because we're reacting to something. It's
Yes,
by reflex, right? So for example, if I slap you in the face, your reaction would be to slap me in the face back, right? You would get angry because why did you slap me, right?
yes,
Right. But if someone who has practiced slowing down themselves, they can choose how to react. See? So the best thing that I can say is to learn to slow yourself down before you do something, especially before you speak. If you are about to say something, slow yourself down a little bit. I know this is very hard in the current age that we live in. And I used to have the same problem because I have ADHD, right? And people say, your body acts faster than you think. And that's
yes,
real. That is very real. I have ADHD. I understand feels and how hard it is to deal with that kind of thing, which is
I
why we have to deal with medications, right? We have to take medications and all that kind of stuff. And that is fine because that is still the body. That is still just the body itself. It is not the citta. It is not the reason, right? At the end of the day, no matter how the body moves and all that, right? The person that is controlling what you speak out is you and your heart, you and your citta, your soul. Right? That is the main thing that is causing it to think and speak out. Right. So learn to be with yourself a little bit more. Learn to be with yourself a little bit more. Try to slow down a little bit, even just like 1 minute per day, for example. Every single day, you wake up in the morning, you count to 100, right? Every single day, count to 100. Not when you're angry, okay? Don't do it when you're angry because you are angry. You're not going to be able to count to 100. You don't do it when you're angry. Do it when you are starting to feel calm first. Usually first thing in the morning when you wake up, your body has just reset and your mind hasn't started working yet. So it's usually the calmest time of day, right? So you sit down and then you count to 100 and then you do that for maybe five. The first time you do it to 100, and then on the second day you feel a little bit more like you've practiced enough, then you can move to 1,000, or maybe you can do 5 sets of 100. When you keep on doing that, you are slowing yourself down and you are starting to feel the presence of time on your hand. You're starting to feel how long time feels like, because instead of counting seconds, you are counting in a way that is relative to how you perceive time by yourself, right? So you're starting to feel the presence of time in your own existence.
Yes.
And then you start to realize that there is time for me to choose how to react. There's no need for me to react in this specific way. There's no need to go into deep meditation or to go into putto or to go into advanced meditation, because as it is right now, it's already very hard to concentrate on something, right? So that is why at the start, you can start with just these different sets of numbers. Start with 100, and then the next day, okay, I'm fine with 100, 5 sets of hundreds, and then 10 sets of hundreds. There's no easy way out. Basically, it's like going to the gym. You are training your soul. You're training the thing that receives emotions. And then once you start to understand that you have control over how you react, then you will see that there's no need for you to lash out.
Yes.
But there is one thing I would like to say about that, is that although it is true that you are, usually most of the time is that when you start to realize that you have control, some people will start to think about the past. They would think that, I have control. Does that mean that I'm responsible for my actions before I have control? Right? That is something that people always think. When you get to a better place, you start to look back and then you feel guilty. And then once you start to feel guilty, you abandon your practice because you don't want to feel bad. Because you feel the weight of the responsibility catching up to you. Because you eventually realize that you have nothing to blame. You can't blame your disease. You can't blame your body. You can't blame your hormones. You can't blame anything at all. Right? That's the thing. So the only thing I can say is that when the time comes, right, please understand that what you did before is when you were not trained. It is something that happened because you didn't know how any of this works. You only reacted because that is the only thing that you know how to do. But now you know how to react. You know that you have control. Therefore, tell yourself that you're not going to repeat the same mistakes, and then let it go. Move forward. Feel the guilt, have the guilt flow through you, and then understand that there's nothing left to be guilty of if you realize the fact that you have improved today and you will improve even more in the future.
Yes. So Uh, it's a personal question. It's my question.
Mm. Okay, okay.
Before you making yourself like a monk, tell me about your past life. Tell me about
My
your
life
mother,
before being a monk.
father.
Ah, well, my mother is actually a teacher, so she's a tutor. She's a tutoring teacher, and my father is it's a general